Hello and welcome to my garden and the dinosaurs who live there. Well, we're well into October now, so I thought it was time for a little tour of the garden. So stay tuned for my October garden tour. So here's the raised vegetable truck outside the kitchen door. A few bits and pieces here. Still some trailing flowers here. I can't quite remember the variety of these. Just brightening things up. It was a little plug that I had left that I hadn't room in a hanging basket for. It's looking nice. So Lolo Rosso lettuce is still okay. There's a little iceberg lettuce and I think this is a little gem lettuce. Something has eaten most of the leaves on that little turnip, but I'll harvest that today and eat it. And there's another little iceberg at the back. There's a few remaining beetroot here, but they're not really coming too much and they've been in here forever, so I'll just give the leaves to the chickens, I think. And some chives in the back. And a little white, was it sweet ball? Let me just see, I've got it over here. Oh no, it's Market Express. That one. So yeah, space for some other bits and pieces. Oh, there's some spring onion kicking about as well. I slotted in some spring onion here too. And there's a couple of monkey nuts that have been uncovered because the squirrels obviously come in here and bury their nuts in this jug. Hanging on the edge, we've got a couple of, again, the Market Express white baby turnips, which I'll be eating shortly. And then hanging around, we've got some Heucheras. There's one, and then we've got 3 round this side, which are all quite happy at the moment. And if I just look to the other side of the kitchen door, this Rudbeckia is still going really strong, actually. Considering some of the weather we've had, and we're well into October. So I haven't been cutting so many and bringing them indoors. I've quite enjoyed them just out here, giving colour. So really pleased with that. There's a little quailies in there. And have a look at quail tails if you're interested in seeing more about my quail. And then just swinging round, I think this is the last of the hostas that still have any colour. This one is, oh no, this one is, name has rubbed off. That is so annoying. I'll look at a previous video and suss out what the name is though. Oh, I use Sharpie on those plastic, well, unless it's a little one? No. Yeah, I use Sharpies on those plastic plant labels, but eventually the wind and rain, or the rain and the earth, I guess, scrubbing it will erase it, so maybe need to think of something else. But it's a nice host actually. I had it round the corner and it was getting eaten, so these older leaves you can see are a bit really scraggy and it was almost eaten to the ground, but I took it out of the place it was in and just popped it in a pot, and yeah, it's looking lovely. Now here's what I try to achieve with my £2 kitchen basins, and this is looking lovely actually. We've got 2 little turnips and 2 iceberg lettuce that are looking quite happy. So that's a little, yeah, a nice little way of using a small space and growing something to eat. Okay, here's another raised veg truck, and in here we've got some lettuce and some spring onion. So we've got a little gem lettuce, and we have some Lisbon white, is it? Spring onion. And a couple of iceberg lettuce at the edge there. Not sure if the little gem are going to take off now. I don't know whether they can cope with the autumn weather. The iceberg should though. The iceberg are doing fine actually in all parts of the garden. And just up here, I just want to show you some of the beauty of autumn. So here's a tomato plant. Not a tomato plant, oh, it is a strawberry plant. And you can see how some of the leaves have gone really lovely red, very autumnal, and then some fresh leaves coming in. I don't know what variety this is, but I just think that as a plant, it looks lovely. Really, really nice. My hanging begonia is just looking amazing. I bought this at a garden centre, a locally run one, and it's a Hessian sack, a Hessian bag hanging, and it's got little pockets in it, and they planted it up with these begonia. Don't know the variety, it's your, I guess your common or garden bedding begonia. And I bought this in May, it must have been May, and it hasn't stopped flowering since. Absolutely amazing. What a great investment. Begonias, yeah, they're a bit old-fashioned, some of them, although there's some fantastic varieties, but they just do so well. Look at that. So that's something I'm going to think about for next year. Begonias, really low maintenance, and flower their socks off. So this raised bed has got my celeriac in. I'm certainly getting celeriac, but I'm not getting huge globes, if that's the term, of celeriac. Oh, Beryl, what a noise. I don't know whether it's just the way that I've grown them. Let's have a look in there. Ah, and the other thing I'm noticing, I'm just going to pull this, is that things are eating it. I don't know how many are hollow, but that one certainly is. That's annoying. So maybe I should be pulling these sooner rather than later. I must check to see if you can eat the celeriac foliage. Because if you can eat the foliage, I'm onto a winner, because it's looking great. So we've not looked in the tomato grow house for a while. To be fair, I thought everything had just finished. But if we have a little look, there's still a few sun gold to harvest. A few sun golds. And there's a couple of whoppers of ace. Very, very green. I'm just going to bring these indoors so that they can ripen indoors. But that's good. Strange looking. Oh no, they're looking alright, these wee guys. I think they are. I'm just reaching down for the labels, sorry, I don't know what I'm actually videoing. Celano. So I think they might be, oh no they're not, they're on ace. They're on ace. So that's more ace, they're just smaller. Over this side everything's just about done, except this ace. I don't know, they're hanging on in there. But I'm really wanting to clear this out to see if I can use this over the winter. I don't know if it's going to survive the winter if I leave it out. I mean, the frame's really solidly attached to the ground by huge spikes, but I don't know whether the plastic cover, let me just move back, I don't know whether the plastic cover is going to survive. It's sort of in a sheltered place though, so I'll make a call on that later on. The geraniums in this hanging basket are still giving the odd flower, and in the centre is a red burgundy coloured Heuchera. I'll probably leave the Heuchera in there over the winter, and the begonia I'll pull out when it starts to die back. And below that, this cage has got some purple sprouting broccoli in, and some perpetual spinach. It's looking okay. And if I just move next door, this is where I've just planted some overwintering Japanese onions. I've just left the net around it just to keep the chickens off, to be fair, because it already had a net on it, so it seemed easier. A couple of beetroot there, and then over in the other raised sleeper bed we have some more purple sprouting broccoli, just a little bit behind the other ones. And then in these troughs we have this is Carcassonne garlic that I've just put in, and in here is a heritage variety of garlic. It is called Mikalov. Nothing much to see, I'm just showing you some earth, sorry. And then here, where? In this little teeny tiny trough, there's just a few Japanese overwintering onions and lots of droppings from my sycamore trees. We still have one sunflower doing its stuff. This is Sunburst, and yeah, it's hanging on in there. It's been blown over several times, and it's gone dry several times when I've forgotten to water it, but no, it's doing okay. Well done, that sunflower. Down in the terrace beds, the hydrangea is looking fantastic. This is, and my favourite plant name, it's Hydrangea Paniculata Pinky Winky. It was cream, and it gradually turns this sort of antique-y pink colour. Absolutely amazing. Love it, love it, love it. Interspersed with that we have another hydrangea. It's a mop-head hydrangea, and I can't remember its variety, but there you can see one there. And just looking at the centre of the flowers there, it almost looks like someone's put in these little silver ball bearings into the centre. Absolutely gorgeous. It's become a bit unruly, right enough. We have two Pinky Winkies in here and one mop head, and it's all getting a bit busy. I'll cut it back later on once all the flowers are in the springtime, in effect, and try and get it back under control. The hydrangea mophead, excuse me, mophead flowers in particular are quite nice to come indoors and pop them in a vase. The only thing about it is that you think it looks glorious, and then all of a sudden all these earwigs and other insects pop out of it. So I need to find a way of getting the insects out of the flowers before I use them. And I think I saw somewhere that if you bring them indoors and put them maybe in a shed or into a garage or something, somewhere where you don't mind insects, and leave them overnight, then the insects will vacate the premises and vacate the flowers, and then your flowers are insect free. Because it wouldn't be the first time I've had a lovely array of hydrangeas on my dining table and we're sitting having dinner and oh no, look, there's an earwig. Here's a view from the side of the garden, and we have right in front of me, there's a magnolia. Then we have a mophead hydrangea, but if I look up you can see the sunflowers that are just going over now and bending over now. And there's one here right next to me as well. And then looking down the path towards the bottom of the garden, there's lots of leaves. I did some raking yesterday, but you can see some colour there with the perennial Rebecca, unlike the ones I showed earlier, which are the annuals. And these are still doing okay, showing their Their colours, it's nice to get some colour in the garden at this time of year. I mean, you do get lovely reds and greens fading, but still some greens with the perennials. Sorry, the evergreens. But actually getting some other colours is rather nice. There's still, and I've still got begonias, and I've still got some dahlias doing some stuff as well, giving me other colours other than yellow, but the yellows are appreciated nevertheless. Oh, look at this poor hosta. Yes, it's been munched and munched and munched, haven't you? But that'll gradually, and I'll cut that back shortly actually, and it'll just disappear under the ground until the spring and then pop back up again. So it's just the end of this year for it. Here's a great little Heuchera. That's one of the plants that gives you all year round colour, and this one's Marmalade. And yeah, okay, it's just green, but it's a lovely lime green, and it stands out well against the dried leaves and wood chips that's sitting around it. And it's going to be there like that all the way through the winter, more or less, unless it's really bad, in which case it might get a bit, it might disappear a bit, but it'll be fine, it'll come back. Another thing that seems to do rather well is this Phormium, or New Zealand Flax, I think it's called. It's absolutely huge now, and yeah, unless it's really, really, really cold, yeah, I'm talking like -10, -15 cold for a concerted amount of time, and you don't, if there's snow, you don't clear snow off it, then it does well year to year. It's pretty hardy, even in not so sunny Scotland. We've got now, what's this? I think it's Choicea, which is going a little bit strange coloured. Got some berries. Or is that Skimmia? Oh, that'll be Skimmia, not Choicea. Yeah, so Skimmia, I'm getting some berries. There is the burning bush at the back there, just starting to get red leaves. Called burning bush because eventually all the leaves turn scarlety red before they drop. My cosmos is done, and there's a sort of collection of bits and pieces here. There's some leaves dropping, just a variety of different flowers here, whose names escape me, some of them, and then there's some buxus balls down there hidden, but they'll soon be revealed as the rest of the foliage dies back, because of course the buxus is another great architectural plant that will keep its shape all the way through the winter. Hello, who's this? It's Beryl. Hello, you're leading a chicken parade, are you? On the table we have a couple of tubs of Iceberg Lettuce, still doing fine. Some carrots that are probably suffering from the weather, but hanging on in there. And then that's just Carex grass. I got a job lot of Carex grass because I've been using that in the quail enclosure. And this is some Spinach Beet, which is doing okay, and that's actually a hosta there. Look at the spider's web on it. Hey, just move that out of the way. Got some more little baby turnips in here, and some parsley. And in this middle raised veg trug, there's some beetroot and some spring onion. And there's a nice rosemary plant. Whoops, daisy. Here's another little basin with 4 iceberg lettuce in, and I'm just noticing there's a little tomato that's dropped off there. These tomatoes here are, well, they're done, but we've still got some fruit to pick. Yummy! Although over here I've missed out on these ones, and you can see they've all gone, ugh. Down here we have some more spring onions. And look at this hosta. This was green, but this is it dying back now. It's unusual for me to see hostas in this state, i.e. you can see mostly that, you know, the leaves are mostly whole, but they've just lost the green and they're just gradually fading away. And the reason I don't see this very often is usually the slugs have eaten them before they get to this stage. But this big one survived rather well. But we'll see it again next year. That's the great thing about hostas. Come back every year like clockwork. And here's my newly planted up bed with elephant garlic and Japanese overwintering onions. And yes, you can see it's autumn because there's now some sycamore leaves already plonked themselves on top. But that can't be helped, and there's a lot more of those to come. These weird flowers are Simicifuga. I think I'm saying it right. The plant's just going over now. It's a perennial. But you do get these weird looking bottle brush type flowers. There's a couple of little ones there as well. I wouldn't say that... Oh, and there's a squirrel. No squirrel. I'll get it going back round there probably. There it is. It's heading for the squirrel feeder. Yeah, I wouldn't say this Simicifuga is the most wonderful plant in the world, I have to say, but I've got it, so I'll keep enjoying the flowers when they do pop up. Well, that's a look around the garden in October. I hope you've enjoyed that little insight into how things are going up here in the west of Scotland in the UK. And before I finish up, I'd just like to say a big thank you to everyone that subscribes to my channel. It is very much appreciated. And I love also when you comment on my videos, so please feel free to comment on them too. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye bye for now.